Time this week, Governor Cuomo's team was out here in Western New York with an announcement of more jobs coming to the area. Now, it's common to see state money accompany these types of announcements. The question is whether that spending of your tax dollars gets results. And 2 on Your Side's Dave McKinley is following that money for us tonight.
Encore Industrial Plastics is the latest local company to get aid from the state, $200,000 in tax breaks to expand and hire 23 new workers, according to its president, Merrill Arthur.
What happens if you don't hire them?
If we don't hire them, then we don't get any money.
This is part of Governor Cuomo's Excelsior tax credit program, where there's only state money involved after the jobs are created.
But despite his pouring $8 billion taxpayer dollars a year into dozens of job creation programs, many have not met their goals, according to a 6-month investigation by Joe Spector and Sean Lehman of our news partners in the Gannett Albany Bureau. Take, for example, that Excelsior tax credit program she mentioned. In the last 4 years, it committed $708 million in tax breaks to firms pledging to create about 46,000 jobs. But as of last fall, the companies reported creating roughly 19,000 jobs, far less than half. Another program called Jobs Now, which aids businesses willing to relocate to New York, served up $36 million for 8,400 jobs pledged, but which again has delivered fewer than half that number to date.
Seldom do they materialize into the amount hoped for.
No, they do materialize.
But an audit last year by State Comptroller Thomas DiNapoli claimed the state couldn't provide any documentation to support many of the Excelsior job claims, and that it changed the job creation goals retroactively. That was buttressed by a Pew Charitable Trust report that found New York is one of the worst states in evaluating the effectiveness of its tax breaks and grants, which, according to another report from the Upjohn Institute for Employment Research, New York doles out in an amount 3 times as much as the next 3 largest states combined. But Hochul insists there's more to the story.
Let's just look at a couple barometers. First of all, when the governor was first elected, the unemployment rate in Niagara County was over 10%. It is now less than 6%, 5.9%, so jobs are coming back.
But while the unemployment rate is down, so too is the labor force in the state outside of New York City, where 3 out of every 4 new jobs in the state in that time period were created. Beyond that, there's not much to prove Cuomo's economic programs are responsible for growth, in part because, according to the comptroller again, most lack transparency.
He said that they don't provide any information as to whether the jobs are actually being created. Is there room for improvement on that front?
Well, let's start with his premise, which unfortunately is fundamentally flawed. There is tremendous transparency and disclosure involved in these job programs.
Not according to his audit, which said half of Empire State Development's programs failed to meet reporting requirements, and that of its 173 sub-agencies, only 15 produced annual reports, and 36 had no reporting requirements at all.
You don't see a problem there?
I'm saying that we're proud of this program. It's working. There is transparency, there's disclosure, and you cannot argue with the results. Thank you very much.
Hochul insists the seeds being sown, in particular by the Buffalo Billions projects, will bear fruit. But even there, it's sprouted scandal and federal indictments against several players involved in its signature project, the yet-to-open Solar City plant. Dave McKinley, Channel 2 News.